What is up, everybody? TwoTenEast here. I hope you've all been well and living your best lives and achieving all you want to achieve. But you guys already know what time it is. It's time for all of us to come back together again. Yes, my friends, Love featuring Marriage and Divorce is back with season 3. And so, of course, I'm back too with discussion review videos every week for you guys as the episodes come out and the season unfolds. For all of my returning viewers, welcome back. And for all the new viewers, welcome aboard. Let's watch this drama together and talk about it and hopefully have some fun doing it. This time around, I've got my Discord squad with me and we'll be doing plenty of live streams talking about how the show is going and how we feel about it. So definitely tune in for that if you're interested. Discord link in the description. Come join a super chill, super cool community where we talk K-dramas, movies, and all that good stuff. Obviously, we had some actors leave the show last season and we've got some new ones coming in. We also know that there's going to be some more really weird twists and turns. I'm honestly not sure how this season could be weirder than last season, where we literally saw a deceased man, Dr. Shin, pass gas, just let one rip from beyond the grave by possessing a small girl. He literally farted through her, a fart that transcended through the afterlife into the corporeal plane. But I'm ready for it. Bring it on. So with that all being said, let's get right into episode 1 and episode 2 of season 3.
I'm in love again!
Okay, so jumping right into episode 1, we're already back into the action. Song-won is having her baby. It's a week early. The lunar calendar is something, I don't know, whatever, I don't care. And Sahyun's parents are getting ready to take her to the hospital. And okay, it is time. And where is Sahyun, you might ask? Well, just relax. He's on his way. He was just a little busy turning into a completely different person. I'm just kidding. You know what, guys? I'll give you my take on the new actors here and there, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm just gonna let them rock out and just see how they do and give my thoughts after I've seen them get into their new roles a little more. So the new Sahyun comes and meets them and gets in there and just picks up Song-won like a boss. He's built different, literally, because he's a completely different person. Okay, I'm done. That's the last one, I swear. Okay, next, new Dong-mi invites Ji-ah over for burgers or something. And okay, I guess I should give my take on new Dong-mi. So appearance-wise, I think she looks the most like her predecessor, and that makes it a bit of an easier transition. Her hair, though, oh my god, it's amazing. She looks like the change in Anakin's hair between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. She really sat down at the barber and said, "Give me that Yamcha," and the barber said, "Say no more." So we get one of these kind of reshoot flashbacks where they just redid the scenes with the old actors in them and put the new ones in there, and now they can use flashbacks in season 3 without it being awkward. But it still is kind of awkward. Like, for instance, where we see that scene where Sahyun and Song-won finally get down to doing the nasty, and it's just kind of funny seeing her in that moment with this new actor. So anyways, back in the present, Song-won gets to the hospital. Meanwhile, Pee-young finds out Ji-ah is over at her dad's place and gets pissed, tells the driver, go back and get her. And then we also get our first big moment where Ji-ah meets Ah-mi, the mistress, the girlfriend that is gonna ruin her childhood. This is huge, guys. I can't... Oh, wait. Yeah, it's a fantasy. Fair enough. You got me. I'm a little rusty, haven't been watching this show in a while, and I fell for it, but yeah, okay, let's move on. So Ji-ah gets there, but Ami's not there, and they just talk about whatever, burgers, I guess, and then the driver shows up and says, hey, yeah, Pee-young told me to pick Ji-ah up and take her home, actually, so yeah, I'm just gonna... So Ji-ah goes home, and Dong-mi is kind of pissed her plan failed, and of course, as soon as Ji-ah leaves, like as soon as the door closes, Ami comes out of the shower and barely misses her. So then we get a little Dong-mi, Ami one-on-one action. Dong-mi taunts Ami about Ji-ah finding out about the affair, and oh, you're screwed then. She also calls her a fish head, which was hilarious, and okay, go ahead, new Dong-mi. Ami comes back with calling Dong-mi Dong Chimmy, which I guess is a play on words with some kind of food. It was kind of weak to me, but I guess it had the desired effect and Dongmi looked pissed. Okay, so then we go back to the dinner with Mr. So and his harem, and we know Pyoung already went off to deal with the Jia situation, and then Hae-ryung gets called away as well to go deal with something with a car or something, and it's looking like, okay, Mr. So and Si-eun are gonna get some alone time, but then Mr. So says he'll go with Hae-ryung. Okay. Fuck, that sucks. All my So-yun So fans are punching the air right now. We also get this little moment of dramatic music and Si-eun's taking a sip of her wine, and you can just see that she's feeling everything that's going on. It's been a lot, and she's trying to keep it together. And yeah, Si-eun, keep your head up. We're rooting for you. There's a scene with Ga-bin and Boo-bae, but it's just the same old shit. He's just being weird and doing too much, and she's just not saying no strongly enough. She's like, no, I didn't agree to marry you. Don't, no. Stop. Also, yes, can we please check in on Hae-ryun? I don't really like the guy, but I do kind of want to know what happened since we got left with a little bit of a cliffhanger from last season. Okay, then we get an update with the Mr. So Si-eun thing. He sees that Si-eun left, and when he gets back, he notices the empty wine bottle, which she kind of just finished, and his spidey sense tingles, and he can tell that, hey, something's going on with her. Si-eun is on the way home and is wasted and drunk dials Hae-ryun, and wow, she's like complimenting him and saying, hey, you'll be fine, you're so handsome, you have a respectable job, we respect you. And this is when we finally see that Hae-ryun is fine. He's just in bed chilling, listening to all this. Si-eun also says, hey, that darn affair, right? Jesus, Si-eun, she's talking about the affair like it's a leaky faucet in the upstairs bathroom that they used to argue about. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's no big deal. Oh, that darn affair. It was always messing with our mojo. And I love Si-eun. She's a nice person, but come on, how do you get drunk and get even nicer to your ex? And Hae-ryun starts crying listening to all this, and dude, Hae-ryun, like, now you're crying? Now that the whole Ga-bin thing is going sideways, your young mistress that you stunted on your whole family with for 2 seasons, where you felt no remorse and played the victim, now you're crying? Yeah, I'm just, no sympathy here. Okay, so then we finally get a look at New Shin, which is what I'm calling him for now. He's in the club thinking of his wife, as you do. We get a flashback with him and Pyoung, and I don't really know what they were talking about, but I was just kind of looking at him, and he's cool. He's doing his thing so far. He just seems a lot more alive and like a real person with real facial expressions. Okay, then Pyoung and Dongmi meet up at Yushin's place, and they sit down and just go at each other basically about Jia and what Dongmi did inviting her over, and Jia finding out about Ami eventually, and all that kind of stuff. And I like that the writers are getting this new Dongmi actress some good reps right off the bat in episode 1. They're getting her right in there, and she's holding it down so far. I think she's doing a pretty good job. So during this scene, some highlights, Pyoung finally calls out Dongmi about her feelings for Yu Shin and how it's weird and creepy. Dongmi denies it, and Pyoung also accuses her of scheming and trying to get Yu Shin alone for herself, which, yeah, that's pretty much valid. Pyoung tries to leave, but then Dongmi records the conversation on her phone. I don't know why, like, I don't know what that was supposed to be. Maybe to show Jia or something, I don't know. So then Pyoung like just goes in on Dongmi some more with some amazing facial expressions and finally accuses her of being just like Ami, and then Dongmi tries to slap Pyoung, but Pyoung's got that ultra instinct and stops her mid-slap, but I guess that was only good for one block because then Dongmi does slap her and says, all right, like, what's up? Let's go. Like, what's up? And she's like, this is what I get for convincing my husband, Dr. Shin, into letting Yu Shin marry you, a nobody like you. God damn. So Pyoung gets like super pissed and sees red and just picks up this vase and throws it on the floor and breaks it, I guess, instead of going directly for Dongmi. Okay, cool. So Ami and Yu Shin walk right in and they're like, oh shit. So it just gets worse. And I can't believe these two are arguing on like this while Ami is allowed to just stand on the sideline and look like the peaceful, minding her own business one. Like, why are you fighting? Go get her. Why are we acting like she's cool and she's fine? And New Shin is like, dude, fuck this. What did I sign up for? And with this one facial expression, he's already showing more emotion than the old Yu Shin did for 2 seasons combined. And I got to agree with Dong Mi when she says that Pyung and Ami getting along is like, what the fuck? Why is that happening? And yeah, more praise for New Shin. I really like how he's doing this so far. He's got presence and actual emotion and feeling behind what he's saying. He tells Pyung, I'm tired of your threats. I'm gonna call Ji-ah over right now and we can tell her right now. But Pyung's like, nah, if you do that, I'll never let you see her again. And it just feels more like he's actually invested in the arguments they're having. And I do need to remind myself to check my bias with New Shin and also Sa-hyun, because I feel like subconsciously I'm putting all of my hate and leaving it with the old actors. And since these guys are new actors with new faces, I don't hate them as much, because even though I hate the character, it's hard for me to put that feeling into these new people, because it's kind of just like, why are you so mad at him, Pyung? He wasn't even here last season. That was that other guy. So Pyung finally leaves and Ami says like, hey, if you really want me to end this, I will, Pyung. And Pyung doesn't really care. And yeah, just whatever, Ami. Little too late for all that. Okay, so then Mr. So calls Siyun to see if she's okay, tells her sorry about the night ending like it did, getting cut short. And he also says he liked her poem. And things really seem to be heating up. You know it's gonna get good when they talk on the phone and she's in the bathtub. So during this conversation, Mr. So finds out Siyun is divorced, and Mr. So wastes no time. As soon as he finds out, he's like, oh, word? All right, I'm pulling up right now. And was this what was going on in season 1 and 2? Mr. So's whole aloof, standoffish lone wolf act? Was that just him being polite and respectful to married women? Was he just holding back all this time, and now that he knows he has the green light, he's just flooring it? If so, I am all for it. So they meet up to eat and get some food, and Siyun's like, well, what about Hae Ryung? Did she call? And Mr. So's like, let's only talk about us, baby. And goddamn, he's really like switching it up completely. He is laying it on and saying Siyun was too good for her ex, yada yada. And I gotta say, I like this new Mr. So. He's coming on strong, letting her know, hey, I'm into you. But he's also using this meetup to feel things out. He's making sure to ask her, hey, do you still have feelings for him? How are the kids? Are you guys definitely over? He's making sure she's cool with him going forward and taking things up a notch, which I think is pretty respectful and smooth. There's also some nice details in the scene with Mr. So saying, hey, no, you don't need to pour my drink for me, and no, I'll serve you your soup. All these little reminders to Siyun about how he's different than Hae Ryun was during their marriage, and she's seeing what it's like to have someone wait on her and take care of her. So I'm hoping this isn't a too good to be true scene, but for now, I'm just enjoying it for what it is. So they walk home together, and he even gives her his coat, and we're just getting spoiled here in episode 1, guys. So-Yun fans, stand the fuck up. And Mr. So also reveals that they met once before. He doesn't really reveal the whole story, but says that he'll tell her tomorrow. So maybe they met once when they were young or when they were kids, and sure, okay, yeah, I could do an origin story with them. And then right when they're at Siyun's building, Hyung-gi shows up right outside and sees them together, but Mr. So is just too smooth, and of course Hyung-gi instantly likes him, and after he walks away, she's like, Mom, he's incredible. Mr. So has definitely still got it. He's on that Sigma male grind set. Every woman can't help but be drawn to him, and with like 3 sentences, he's already won over the eldest child. He's really in there, guys. He's just too smooth. God damn, he's good. And then Siyun tries to play it off when they're going up in the elevator. She's like, oh, it's nothing. It's just my boss. And, you know, we were just talking business. But Hyung-gi sees right through it. And she's like, sure, Mom, sure. And yeah, it's just great to have a wholesome moment and a feel-good moment for this family, because they definitely deserve it. So, of course, we can't have something good happen without something bad happening right afterwards. Hae Ryun calls up Siyun, and it turns out his face is paralyzed. He woke up and just had half of his face paralyzed, and yeah, that doesn't sound good. He calls her for a recommendation for an acupuncture place, so yeah, that can't be leading to anything good. for Hae-ryun. So we're getting close to the end of the episode, but they are really cramming in the drama here in these last parts. Next, we get New Shin and Ami talking, and she tells him that her dad passed away, and holy shit, we finally get confirmation, guys. The herbal medicine doctor is dead, the one that fell off the horse last season. Apparently, he got paralyzed and then just died. R.I.P., man. You slapped Yu Shin last season, so you will forever be a legend in my book. We won't forget you. We won't forget how they did you dirty. Rest in peace. Okay, then Ji-ah hears singing while she's in bed, and it's coming from the living room, and she tells Pi-young. They go look, and yep, sure enough, there's Ghost Dr. Shin. And I really thought that we might go a whole episode without having to see this shit, but yeah, there he is, singing. So Song-won is finally ready to deliver, and they kick Sa-hyun out of the room, and I don't know about you guys, but I did not like how that scene was shot, and the room, and the music, and it felt very like a final goodbye kind of scene with the door closing on her. Is she gonna have some complications in childbirth? I'm getting a little nervous. Obviously, I don't really like Song-won that much, but I also don't want her to die either. I'm not wishing death upon her. But it turns out for now it's all good. The baby comes out. It's a boy. Song-won looks tired, but she looks like she's fine. We get the classic mom holding the baby shot, and okay, everything's great. And that's all for episode 1. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with how we started off. It's not too crazy, but also it's not too boring either. We got some good moments, some drama brewing already. And yeah, let's just move right on into episode 2. All right, so we start off with Pi-young looking worried and frantic, and I think it's because of what we see next. Ji-ah has taken a taxi, but it's really the ghost Dr. Shin who has possessed her living body and changed its appearance to look like him. So yeah, Pi-young is freaking out because Ji-ah is missing. So Ji-ah, Dr. Shin, ghost, Ji-shin, I guess we'll call it. She pulls up at Yu Shin's place, and as she gets out, this lady sees him, and sees Dr. Shin transform back into Ji-ah's body. She gets into the taxi next and tells the driver, hey, did you know that was a spirit? And the taxi driver freaks out kind of and waves this little thing at her, but the lady's just like, relax, bitch, relax. So it looks like maybe this might be a new character. Maybe it's just a one-time thing, but maybe this lady will be able to solve the mystery, track down Dr. Shin's ghost, and deal with it. She definitely looks like someone I would not want to mess with. So Ji-shin takes the stairs because the elevator is out, and he runs into Ami coming down the stairs. Now, this should be a huge moment for these two to meet, and it is for Ami because she realizes who Ji-ah is, but since Ji-ah is under possession, she's not really herself and doesn't really care or understand who Ami is. So Ami follows Ji-shin back up to the apartment. Ji-shin calls her weak and soft. I mean, I know it's not really Ji-ah saying it, but I'll take it. Ji-ah comes into the apartment, New Shin welcomes her, and then Ji-shin farts. And I was like, this is happening again? Really? We're getting another fart scene? But then I realized that this is actually the same scene that we saw in the finale of season 2. We're just now seeing it in its entirety. Anyways, this scene was so ridiculous and crazy and hilarious. Ji-shin attacks Dong-mi, and you know I got you guys covered with the best screenshots from this scene. So obviously Dr. Shin wants revenge for his death, which he blames Dong-mi for. Pretty sure Dong-mi actually sees his ghost form this time, and it's just a disaster. This side plot has finally exploded onto the main storyline track, and I don't know how I feel about it. What I do know for now is that it's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in this show, and maybe any show ever. I can't even imagine how fun it must have been to shoot this and to be on set for it. So the attack finally stops because I guess Dr. Shin, the ghost, had a ghost heart attack again? I didn't know you could still have health problems even when you're a ghost. What a fucking ripoff. Anyways, the ghost possession presence dissipates and Ji-ah passes out and New Shin takes her away and it's finally over. Ami calls Pi-young and lets her know what went down. And yeah, let's just keep it moving. So we're back at the hospital with Song-won and yep, I fucking knew it. I fucking called it last episode with that stupid sappy music and the framing and the shots and the door closing on Song Wan, the whole last goodbye, last time I'll see you atmosphere. So yes, folks, it happens. Song Wan, shortly after birth, dies in bed pretty suddenly and quickly, and wow, first weekend and we already got a major death. No disrespect to the herbal medicine doctor, but come on, this is major. R.I.P. Song Wan. She was, some would say, the best of the mistresses, or I guess the least bad. One thing I really do need to say is that props to that nurse or doctor or whoever who really gave it her all trying to bring back Song Wan. She was like on top of her, straddling her and pressing down with all her might, just really going in, but alas, it was to no avail. And so we get the classic birth-death symbolism trope. It's been used in movies and TV shows countless times, and here it is again, and it was pretty obvious. We kind of saw this one coming. So obviously this is going to have a huge impact on the storyline and on a lot of the characters, but one thing I did want to mention is that this does seem to poke a hole in the season 2 finale flash forward wedding scene being real, because in that scene, didn't we see Song Wan alive and with Mr. So by her side? So unless Phoebe really goes nuts and brings Song Wan back from the dead like Dr. Shin, I guess that scene really was just nothing and had no point to it and isn't gonna be real. So Sahyun and the parents find out, the nurse tells them, hey, it's a boy, but also the mom died, so that sucks. And Sahyun, man, this is what you get, you little shit. Just kidding. Relax. Just joking. Oh, also, Sahyun's dad gets taken away. I guess he was overwhelmed. Whatever. This time, I really don't give a shit. I'm serious. I don't care. But yeah, all jokes aside, this sucks, man. And Sahyun's there touching her, and he thinks that maybe she's still alive, and he's in denial and can't accept it, and it's pretty fucking sad. And this is the new actor's first big scene as Sahyun, and he does an okay job. If I'm keeping it all the way real, it wasn't really amazing, but it was fine. It's tough, again, because it obviously would have felt a lot more real and meant more for us, the audience, seeing the old Sahyun seeing Song Wan dead, but it's not the new guy's fault, and yeah, he did his thing. Okay, guys, let's breathe. We gotta get through the rest of this episode. So back to Ghostbusters, Pee-young pulls up to Nu Shin's place, and they all sit down and basically just talk about how Ji-ah is possessed, and it's definitely Dr. Shin, and yeah, this thing is really happening. It's really breaking into the main storyline, and it's funny to hear them just all talking about it, just out in the open as a plausible thing. So Dong-mi is putting on a great performance, breaking down about her husband, and she's capping, but I still don't need to see Ami looking at her like she's nuts. I'm sorry, I'm still not comfortable with this Ami is just now part of the gang stuff. Like, what are you looking at? You fucking... Alright, let me stop. And okay, great. Looks like we're gonna have an exorcism in this show now, too. Why not? Let's just go to town. And Ami and Dongmi just keep bickering over what to do next, and honestly, it's just so annoying at this point. So back at the hospital, Sahyun's parents go see Song Wan, and they break down and all that, and Song Wan is just there, dead, looking at them like, oh my god, even after I'm dead, this fucking guy is still so corny. Shut up. So meanwhile, Ami and Pee-young talk in the car alone, and Ami tells Pee-young she believes Dong-mi killed Dr. Shin, and that's why this is all happening. She explains what Ji-ah was saying while she was under possession, and man, I'm sorry, I know I keep repeating this, but I just do not like Ami and Pee-young getting along. Yes, Dong-mi needs to be exposed and brought to justice, but what the fuck, man? Alright, sorry, this is the last time I'm gonna say it, I promise. Anyways, Ami says she's gonna look into it, and I guess hire a private detective or something. Great. Okay, back to the whole Hae-ryun paralyzed face thing. Seyun stops by to see him, and she sees how he's been living. He's been drinking a lot, and I guess the apartment is supposed to look like messy, like he's at rock bottom, but honestly, they could have done a better job. It doesn't really look that messy. There's just a few empty bottles and some wrappers in the trash. So Hae-ryun says he thinks he has peripheral facial palsy, I guess. So that sucks. Next, we get a quick scene of Dong-mi game planning in her head, sitting outside in the park or whatever. and she decides that she's just gonna play dumb. She also falls down, and some weird, like, alternate universe Dr. Shin with a beard helps her up and hits on her, but gets rejected. Great. Hilarious. Okay, moving on. Okay, Hae-ryun and Seyun go to the doctor's, and he's told it might be because of stress. He'll get treatment. Okay, cool. Trying to keep it moving here with these smaller scenes. Okay, then we're checking in with our girl, Hae-ryun, and damn, it's really been a minute since we got some decent screen time for her, and she has a whole lot to find out about with Sa-hyun and Song-won, but for now, she's just wondering if Seyun and Mr. So were spending time together the other night. But in classic Hae-ryun fashion, she just says to herself while looking in the mirror, Seyun's no match for me, mwahahahahaha. The sad part is, Hae-ryun doesn't even know that it's probably already over for her. So what do you know? Seyun shows up in the bathroom right after this, and she does lie to Hae-ryun about seeing Mr. So after their dinner. We'll just leave that on the shelf for later in case it ends up coming up again. So then P-young comes into the bathroom right when Seyun is getting a text from Mr. So asking to meet up again, so that's something we can look forward to. So they all sit down together afterwards, and it's actually just great to see all of the former wives in a scene together again. They have some girl talk. P-young tells the others about what's been going on, like, oh, you know, it's been crazy. My daughter got possessed by my dead father-in-law and attacked my mother-in-law, and now we probably have to get an exorcism done. You know, it's just so hectic these days. Okay, then we get another scene with, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it, the most boring people in the show. Boo-bae, Ga-bin, big time snooze fest so far. I really don't care about anything they're doing or saying. They just talk about their wedding and having a baby, and who the fuck cares, honestly. So then there's this whole scene with the wives, and Seyun tells the others about Hae-ryun's facial palsy paralyzed thing. Ga-bin also finds out about it from Boo-bae, and she's saying, oh, I'm gonna be punished. And okay, great, can we just please have this end? Thank you. One thing I will say though is that maybe this will be a kind of theme in this season, that all of these people are gonna start getting punished for what they did, whether it's directly or just kind of karma. I know a lot of you guys out there watching probably will be rooting for that to happen. Okay, but finally, let's do this. We get to the scene we really want to see, Mr. So and Seyun's second date. So we finally get more explanation about Mr. So's past with Seyun. I guess they went to the same art academy briefly. She was nice to him. I was kind of hoping for something a bit better than this, but sure, okay. Seyun apparently doesn't remember any of it. We also learned Mr. So changed his name at one point. It used to be So Dong Min, so there's that too. But the good thing is, he's just coming in full force, letting Seyun know this is how I feel. And it seems like Hae-ryun is out of the running here. I mean, Mr. So is doing all the moves on Seyun, and she's like barely doing anything. Speaking of Hae-ryun, she stops by at Seyun's place and has a nice chat with Hyung-gi and sort of just toots her own horn about how she stayed strong. And she's giving Hyung-gi advice too, but yeah. And just like I thought, Mr. So comes up in their conversation, but it doesn't go too far and it doesn't get awkward. Hyung-gi just asks about Mr. So, but doesn't say anything about her mom and Mr. So spending time together. So that's all good for now. Okay, quick scene with Sa-hyun's parents mourning about Song-won, and I normally don't care, but I just wanted to mention one thing here. Sa-hyun's dad mentions how he can't get over the fact Song-won died with her eyes open, and that means that she won't be able to rest in peace. And I just want to put that out there because does that mean we might be seeing a Song-won ghost in the future after all? Ghost Won unlocked? Maybe that wedding scene could make sense if she possesses somebody else. Anyways, meanwhile, things are going great with Seyun and Mr. So. He likes her, she's into him, even though she's a bit hesitant, and it's just great. But it is the first weekend, guys. You already know this is gonna get messy, and it's not just gonna happen so easily. Hae-ryun is gonna die or something, and Hae-ryun is gonna have something to say about it, but yeah, for now, I'm loving it. Okay, so we're almost at the end of the episode. We see Hae-ryun's friend call her and tell her that Sa-hyun had a death in the family. She saw him at the funeral place and thinks that they were there for some family member. Hae-ryun immediately calls Sa-hyun to find out, and yeah, that's where we end for the week. Wow, what a start to season 3. There's things I'm really liking a lot about it. Some other stuff, like the ghost thing, I could really still do without. Overall, pretty solid. New actors are solid. Can't wait to see what happens next. What are you guys feeling about this new season so far in the first weekend? Definitely let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear all your theories and your insights. And with that being said, that's it for me, guys, for this week. I'll see you next week. This is 210 East. Have a great day.